Hey guys, thanks for tuning in. I'm Ed Gasket, and today we're working on final assembly of our one-of-a-kind 1984 Honda three-wheeler. Let me show you. Now we're picking up reassembly of this three-wheeler after a few small parts have been installed prior. Prior installation included the airbox, the front fork, the rear bearing carrier, a bit of this wiring harness in the middle, as well as the C-latch. Assembly of our rear brake starts with the brake shaft, followed by the rear brake arm that's assembled around the back. That'll fit on the splines in one direction only. Next up are the brake shoes and springs. It's a little awkward getting them around the shaft, but they should snap in once they're in their final position. You can test your final assembly by moving the arm. We can now install our rear axle with sprocket attached. Slide the axle through the carrier. You got to work it and wiggle it a little bit to get it through, but once it's all the way in, you'll be able to feel the bearings roll smoothly. Next, install the rear brake drum. Fit it over the axle and slide it down onto and over the rear brake shoes. It'll take some finesse. Now we're ready for the rear brake drum cover. Put 2 bolts through the holes as to align the rubber seal underneath. Torque it down to spec and you're all set. The hubs are next. Starting with the rear, slide it over the axle and hand tighten the nut. It's easiest if we mount the front hub onto the wheel before assembling it onto the fork. 1 spacer goes on either side of the front axle. You'll feel them snap into the bearing seals. And finally, the locator washers. Straddle the frame and lower the front fork onto the axle. The front wheel assembly is bolted down with 2 washers followed by 2 castle nuts. Finally, install your rear wheels onto the hubs. Take a second and do a dance because you now have a rolling chassis. Hey guys, thanks for tagging along as we reassemble this really cool one-of-a-kind old Honda three-wheeler. Please subscribe so you can catch our next video where we're going to install our motor, our foot pegs, our rear brake pedal, as well as our chain and chain guards. Please like and comment on our video. That helps us continue to convince you that no matter what you're working on, you can fix it yourself.